Hi, I am ThatPaulGuy, and it's Thursday. Thursday, August 15th, 2019, and we'll start out by talking about Virgin Galactic. Congratulations to the private spacefaring company that has now opened up its own spaceport to the public near Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Opened up today, and for a cool $250,000, you can be a space tourist. You can get aboard their space plane, as it were. It launches actually on a glider type mechanism where the spacefaring plane is attached to it. After it goes up into the air, it releases that, and that's the part that goes up into space. So you're taking off from the ground and you're landing on the ground. Flights will begin soon, but like I said, it'll cost you a cool $250,000. So have your change ready. So it ain't going to be cheap. Probably the first in several. People like Jeff Bezos and all that are also planning to, with their efforts, to take tourists up. They own private, or not private, but take the public up and be space tourists. So that in itself is pretty cool. But if you're looking for more space planes, the Sierra Nevada Corporation is going to launch their Dream Chaser plane. It's actually a cargo type plane that will be taking supplies back and forth. It will be aboard a United Launch Alliance Vulcan rocket, and that should begin about 2021 or so. So you've got Virgin Galactic that will carry passengers, and you've got Sierra Nevada Corporation, which will carry cargo, a couple of different sets of space planes today. Not to be outdone, SpaceX still have their Starhopper. Now, we talked about the We talked about the Starhopper a couple weeks ago, and it did its first test of a takeoff and a landing. Well, as early as tomorrow, you could see a 200-meter test. That will be, again, another takeoff and another landing, a little bit further, a little bit higher this time. The good part about this, or the important part about this is eventually going to be the engines that will go on the Starliner. The Starliner will be the rocket that will take cargo and supplies and stuff like that, and up to 100 passengers at a time to Mars to help colonize. Elon Musk says that he would like to start colonizing Mars by the year 2050. So that's, you think about it, that's kind of far away. It's 30 years, but it's not that far away when you're talking about technology. So he wants to be doing that, and that could be in the range of $150 billion or more to start colonizing Mars. Meanwhile, as far as manned missions go, the Dragon capsule should be ready by probably about mid-December to take two-man crew up to the ISS. So that will start that. Boeing should be right behind, if not right around the same period of time. So we should have manned missions going back up to space from U.S. soil here pretty soon. As far as other rockets and stuff like that, there's a Chinese company called Link Space that is now also launching and landing its own rockets. It's the third such test they've done. They did one earlier this week. It's the third one this year they've done. And what is important about this company is it's a private company in China launching rockets. Let me repeat that. It's a private company in China launching rockets and landing them too. So that's pretty cool. So good for them. We'll see how that goes as well. So it doesn't look like the governments are going to be as concerned with space as much as some of the private companies that are trying to get into it too. So congrats to them all. Switching over to technology and other stuff, a little bit more here down to earth. AMD, they recently released their GPUs, some CPUs and GPUs, but board partners will be releasing the graphics cards probably as early as next week. They'll be releasing them. Now, what a board partner is somebody like ASUS or MSI or EVGA. When they buy those processors from AMD or NVIDIA, they will make their own custom circuit board to put those processors on, custom cooling units and stuff like that. Nice, pretty box, put it in the store shelves, and that's usually what you see. So when you're buying it in a place like Best Buy or you're buying it off of Amazon or something like that, you're usually buying it from a board partner. So the fact that AMD has these graphics cards going to board partners is pretty good, because their last graphics card, the Radeon 7, was only manufactured by AMD, and it's already on its way out the door. And it's only been alive since January, and already it's what they call their end of life. So they're not manufacturing that board anymore. So by having board partners do these graphics cards, it's a pretty good sign, and it's better for the consumer as well, because it adds more competition and eventually prices have to come down. Talking about manufacturing of electronics and stuff like that, we talked last week about Samsung having to look for a different place to get some of their chemicals because Japan wasn't going to export to South Korea. Some concerns there. Japan has caught wind of this and said, "Oh, those chemicals. You're talking about those chemicals." Well, some of the chemicals they're talking about are actually for etching and cleaning of some of these micro wafers and some of these microchips that will be for memory modules and for solid state drives and things of that nature that Samsung is trying to do. Now, without these chemicals and without the idea of being able to process these or make these, we could have seen a huge spike in prices. But Japan has now come around and said, "Oh, my bad." And they're going to go ahead and let South Korea import this stuff now. So companies like Samsung will continue to be able to manufacture and we won't have to worry about huge price spikes. So we should be in pretty good shape here. Crisis avoided, at least for now. Staying in tech or loosely related to tech, the Federal Communications Commission has given its blessing to Sprint and T-Mobile. Now, before they said they were going to, and the Justice Department said, okay, yes, you can. And the FCC has affirmed, they went ahead and blessed this child and named it, whatever, and said it's a boy, you can take it home and take care of it now. So the important part about this is it now paves the way for Dish Network to be able to buy that bandwidth and assets like Boost Mobile and stuff like that to be able to start their own wireless company. And so now T-Mobile and Sprint can focus on getting that together, solving whatever little frivolous lawsuits are going on, and Dish Network can talk about getting into the game of being your wireless carrier. So we'll see how that goes. I think there's about 3 years that Dish Network has to have access to some of these, some of the equipment and things like that while they're switching over. But we'll see how it goes. But that should pave the way, and we should be good to go. So you'll probably see signs changing by the first of the year. Switching over to gaming news, though. Gaming news is something that's mildly, I'm just going to say a little bit perturbing. Walmart has decided that they're going to pull all the violent or the graphic type video games off their shelves. But yet you can go 3 aisles away into sporting goods and buy a rifle or a shotgun. Not going to get on a soapbox here, but Walmart, either do it all the way or don't do it at all. Either do like CVS and take all the cigarettes out of your store or leave it alone, okay? Well, most of us that are casual or serious gamers anyway don't shop at Walmart because it takes longer to get a sales associate than it does to download the game on our computer anyway. But I'm just saying, come on, get it together. Make a decision, one way or the other. Don't half in, half at it, okay? Staying in video games, No Man's Sky got a release the other day. Now, you may or may not have heard about this game. When it was released in 2016 by Hello Games, it was supposed to be the end-all be-all. This was supposed to be the cat's pajamas. This was supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. This was supposed to be a great video game. It was supposed to be a complete open universe, completely random generated, a lot of beautiful graphics, a lot of great gameplay. You could even meet up with your friends, this, that, whatever. None of it happened. A lot of it part way, none of it actually happened and came out like it was supposed to. But to Hello Games' credit, they consistently have released new product or new releases for this game every so often to make this game into something that's very worthy of being a AAA type title. So they've kept at it. They've tried to make good on their promise to the consumer at no cost, at no extra cost to the consumer. So the reason why I mentioned this new update is that this one actually has VR. So you have now VR compatibility with this game. Now, I don't have a VR headset. I haven't been able to test it. But I did get back on and I did start playing again. And I did notice something. You took away my base. You made me rebuild my base. And then after I rebuilt my base, you told me I had a power supply. But I don't know how to make a power supply. So I have to learn how to build one. But I can't learn how to build one because I'm missing some of the stuff I have to get by the blueprints with. But in the meantime, you locked me out of my own base. Come on, Hello Games. Come on. You're the second person this week I've had to get on. Anyway, still a great game. I love playing it, and I can't wait to actually figure out what's going on. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know. Maybe I did something. We'll find out what's going on. But they've made it very, very worthy of playing, and it's turned into a pretty good title overall. So if you don't already have it, if you do already have it and you haven't updated it a while, plug it back in, turn it back on. There's some good updates. And if you don't already have it, maybe kind of look for it, especially as a used game. It's worth playing, especially if you like that open world type thing. Staying with gaming stuff, but more over to the hardware instead of the software, Nintendo has finally admitted that there are going to be more Switch consoles coming out. They have finally decided to admit this. Okay, so not that we already knew there was benchmarks, there was testing benchmarks, there was leaks and stuff like that of Nintendo where it was widely rumored that there were going to be other models of this coming out. But Nintendo the entire time has said, you're not getting another. Nope, that's it. Nope, it's not going to happen. Nope, that's not going to. We don't like it when you lie to us. Don't lie to us. If you can stay tight-lipped, you can keep your mouth shut, and you can make us wonder all we want and just not say anything, but don't lie to us. But Nintendo has finally admitted, yes, there are other models coming. There's like a Pro-type version that's going to be an upgraded version. There's going to be a update to their current version. And of course, they're coming out with a light version. So Nintendo, just come on. I mean, you've been good to the consumer for a long, long time. Don't ruin it. Man, that's 3 people. Maybe it's time for me to wrap this up. I think that's what I'm going to do because now I've gotten on a sore streak. But anyway, that's all I got for this week, folks. Whether I do or not, that's all I got for this week. We're not going to do any more. As always, folks, you can thumbs up, you can thumbs down, you can leave me any comments, especially if you know what you think about some of the stuff like this, the space stuff and the rocket stuff. If you got questions on what a board partner is, if you have an opinion one way or the other what Walmart's doing, or if you've played No Man's Sky, leave me comments on that too. So feel free to like, share. If you're not already subscribed, please do. That red bar and that little bell icon will tell you when I'm doing more of these videos. So I'll have more stuff coming up over the weekend probably. And of course, I'll have more stuff next Thursday. But for the time being, folks, that's all I got. So I'll see you later.